Hello there, this is Allan from mindvisionmedia.net again, and this is part 2 for the 2011 theme modification. And if you recall, or you just watched part 1, we left off after I installed a couple of plugins, the first one being TinyMCE Advanced and the Black Studio TinyMCE Widget. Those two plugins are pretty handy, pretty powerful, and they will allow you to modify your theme in some pretty cool ways, as you will soon see. So let's see, as we left off, we had activated our child theme. And if you missed part 1, I do show you how to create a child theme for your 2011 theme or any WordPress theme. And you can follow along with that and then watch part 2. Alright, so we did some basic changes to the theme. Now let's go back into our dashboard, and since we installed those plugins, let's go to Pages. And one thing you need to understand about this home page is this is a page right here. Okay, the section down below here, below the header, is a page, and as you can see it says sample page, and that's the page that's currently showing on the home page. You're going to go ahead and edit that. And first we need to go to our TinyMCE Advanced plugin in our dashboard. And what this represents are the current buttons available inside your post or page editor. And what we're going to do is drag in a couple of more. The plugin gives you more options to drag into your toolbar. Alright, so for instance, we can drag in some tables. I can drag in, let's see, font family. Definitely want that. And let's see, usually want a few others I get. I'm not going to load this particular installation up, but let's see, let's do styles and visual aids. Alright, so I just added some tools to my editing ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and save that down at the bottom. And now let's go to our pages. And I'm going to edit the sample page once again. That's what's showing on the home page. And if you notice, we've got like a lot more stuff here, many more options. Alright, and that's what the power of TinyMCE Advanced gives you, is additional tools for your post and page editor. And I wanted to show you that. And also under Appearance and Widgets, we now have the Black Studio TinyMCE widget. And I'm going to show you what that's all about right now. If you notice, we really don't have too much going on down here at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can do something about that. If you notice, in the 2011 theme you have some widgets over here. Footer. Okay. area 2, area 1, area 3. Area 3 and 2 currently don't have anything in them. Area 1 does, and right now it's showing in a horizontal fashion, which is pretty cool for a widget, smart widget. It spreads out horizontally. Now if I add content to the other two, then it will show as 3 individual widgets, which we're going to do right now. So let me grab a couple of widgets here. I'm going to go ahead and drag that text widget that has some text in it into my footer area 2, just like I have in footer area 1. And let's see, I'm going to do one more. Why don't I do this? I'll just copy this text. Go ahead and close that. And I'll just drag in a arbitrary text and HTML widget down into footer area 3, and I'll go ahead and paste that dummy text in there. I'll go ahead and save that, close that. Now let's go back to our website. And I apologize for having to adjust my screen, but I'm shooting in HD. And now you can see there are 3 widgets at the bottom, individual widgets. So if you only put content in one of them, it will show one horizontal widget bar. If you put content in 2, it will divide the space among 2. If you put content in all 3, it divides the space between 3 widgets. And keep in mind, as you can see here, the widget does expand according to the content. So there's a little more text in this one, so the widget has expanded down. If you want to keep everything kind of uniform, then what you want to do is, limit how much text you have in there and use a more tag or a more link. Cut off your paragraph and put a link for the rest of the article or content. Alright, so let's see, that was widget 1, so why don't I take off some of that text there, save that, show you what I mean. I'll refresh that, and now see it's a little more even. They're about almost the same length. If I get rid of that one little rum of that Lorem Ipsum, I'll just get rid of that right there. Save that, go back, refresh, and there we go. Now they're nice and even. So I've got the 3 widgets activated at the bottom of my 2011 theme. Alright. Now, we all know we can put text in a widget, but now I want to show you the beauty of the Black Studio TinyMCE widget. Now when we put a text widget, arbitrary text, the standard arbitrary text and HTML widget that we can drag into our sidebars, you notice there are no options there to do anything. All you can do is put text, or you can put scripts or code, HTML code, etc. in there, image links, HTML, etc. But you have no other options. Okay, so we're going to close that. I'm going to take this text widget out of footer area 1, put it down here in my inactive widget area, and I'm going to drag in a Black Studio TinyMCE widget. And now look, you have all these options inside of your widget. that you didn't have before with the basic text, plain text widget. Okay, so let me close that right quick. I want to grab some text. Go ahead and copy this text out of that widget just so I can use it inside the Black Studio TinyMCE widget. Go ahead and paste that text inside there. And now what I'm going to do also, now that I have all these options, I'm going to add some media. So let's say I'm just going to add this image right here. I'm going to select thumbnail, and I'm going to go ahead and insert into post. And there we go. I'm going to click on that image now, click that little edit button, and I'm going to align it left. And if you notice, it allows the text to wrap around. If I take it off, see how it's lined up there? If I go ahead and click align left, it gives it a nice alignment there. I'm going to take the link off of the image, update that, and I'm going to go ahead and save that Black Studio TinyMCE widget. Go ahead and close that. Now we drag that into footer area 1. Alright, so now let's go back to our site and refresh. And now I have an image inside that widget on my home page. Alright, pretty cool. Alright, that's what the Black Studio TinyMCE widget allows you to do. Now I can do the same thing to footer area 2 and 3 as well by dragging in a Black Studio TinyMCE widget, inserting media, and going ahead and setting up the layout or alignment the way I would like. Now if I click on that and click edit and take the alignment off, update that, let's take a look and see how that lines up. I'll go ahead and close that. Let's go back to our site and refresh. Okay, see, so it lines up a little bit different there. So in order to take up some of that space, go ahead and set up an alignment on the image. That way it wraps, the text wraps around it. Alright, so that's really useful, really great way to spice up your 2011 theme with a couple of plugins that give you plenty of tool options and allow you to insert media inside your widgets. Alright, so now let's close that. Now, let's see. Home page is looking a lot better than it did when I first installed the theme. And remember, we're working on our child theme. So, let's say I want to add some video or something to this page. Alright? Well, let's jump over to YouTube. And let's just grab a video, any video, it doesn't matter. Okay, we're going to skip that. And now let's go ahead and go to this share button right here. Okay, it brings up a link, but we want to embed it. Okay, so we click here. Now if you wanted to add a custom size, you put it here. And if you want to use any of these options, you select them before you copy this code. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and leave that at the default. It's already highlighted. You can go ahead and copy that, Command C or Control C, and jump back over to our WordPress site. And now we want to go from our widget area to our dashboard, and we want to go to Pages and Sample Page, because that's the page that is displaying as our home page. You can create whichever page you want. And I'm going to go ahead and click on this text, or yours might say HTML, but I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Click it right there where I want my video to go and paste that code we just got from YouTube. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and update that page. Okay, go back to the home page and refresh, and there you have a YouTube video on your home page. Alright, click play, and it goes right into it. Alright. Okay. Very easy to add video to your pages for your 2011 responsive theme. Now that's something I do want to mention. It's a good theme for a number of reasons. It's really good for blogging, as I mentioned in part 1, but it's also responsive. So what that allows your site to do is adjust. No matter how big the browser is, your website will adjust to that screen. So in today's world, we have smartphones and tablets and laptops and large desktop monitors, and responsive is the design method used for websites now, and primarily a lot of WordPress themes. So it allows your website to be seen and viewed on all those different devices, which is fantastic, something we didn't have years ago. Alright, so those were a couple of things to help spice up the 2011 theme. Let's see. One thing I do want to mention that you might want to do that I forgot to mention in the part 1, as far as running through the settings and everything, you want to go to users. Okay, and currently I'm the only user, or you may be the only user. You want to go ahead and click edit on that. Okay, and you want to create a password. You don't want to keep the default password, which is password, which is the same password for all default WordPress sites. You want to change that right off the top and put in a unique password, something strong, something that you can remember, and you want to make a backup copy of it and keep it somewhere safe. Alrighty, that's going to help protect your website from hackers and stuff like that. Alright, so that's something you want to do right off the bat. So let's see what else we can get into here. Well, let's say you want to change some of these page styles or templates. Okay, now this has a leave a reply, a comment section on it. The about page doesn't have a comment section, and if you notice, it's kind of set up like quotes and stuff like that. It has I've got a default layout set for content on the right and sidebars on the left. Okay, so that can be changed for all the pages that you have. So let's go to appearance and let's take a look at theme options right now. One thing I do want to do is, remember this option here in our 2011 theme extensions plugin. You notice how these are all lined up here? Okay, that's part of that option there. Enable widgets. Left align the widget titles with the content of the widgets. If I take that off, go back and refresh, changes the layout slightly. Okay, so to me it looks a little bit cleaner with that option selected. Okay. Now, as I showed you before, you can edit all the colors and links and change the layout. Okay. Put the content on the left, sidebars on the right, or select one column with no sidebar. Alright. pretty good theme overall. But once you add this plugin that I told you about in part 1, you're going to love it. It's going to give you so many more options. Alright, you can still go in and edit the default stuff. Let's go to our header section. We said we were going to change some of that stuff. Now, right now it's random, so that means it's going to rotate through the available header images that are inside this theme image folder or media section. Or you can choose an image of your own. Now let me show you one more powerful thing about this 2011 theme extensions plugin for your 2011 theme. See this header image size? Right here it says change the height of new images created on the header admin page. Okay, and it also has an option to force all existing header images to be this height. Now, right now, that's the default height, 288. Okay, what if you want that a little bit smaller? What if it's just kind of big, you know? We can go ahead and change that. Let's make that 175, or how about 150? Alright, go ahead and save that. Refresh. And now look at that. It's a little bit better. Sometimes the header images are really, really large, and if you don't have something special to put there, you know, you might want to reduce the size of it a little bit. And that toned down the website quite a bit right there, if you notice. Now, look at all this space right here. Okay, I'm going to inspect that with Firebug. And let's see. If you watch some of my other tutorials on my YouTube channel, I talk about Firebug and editing WordPress with Firefox and some of the tools that are available. That's the margin. I'm just looking for the actual height of that. There we go. Alright, so I located, if you see, what Firebug has allowed me to do is locate where this gap is so that I can edit that, decrease that, make it look a little better. If you notice, if I turn off that margin, it just reduces that. It takes up about, wow, almost 3/4 of an inch of space off your page, all that extra space. A lot of themes have a lot of extra space. So what I'm going to do is just take that, and it allows you to test right here. These changes are not permanent. I would have to go and edit the actual style sheet on line 540 and save it and refresh my server, my cPanel, in order for these changes to stick. But it allows you to test and locate the issue. So that is what I have to edit for that, to fix that big gap. Now what if I wanted to fix this big gap right here? There it is right there. Okay, see that? I turn it off and on, so let's edit that. So I found two areas where I can edit and take down some of the space off the website. Now it's not so much blank space. Doesn't that look a lot better? That looks a whole lot better. Alright, so now once we go back to our home page, all those changes are gone. Wow. And that's once again because I did not save them. Alright, so hopefully this was kind of an informative video. Just wanted to show you some tricks, and once again let me just quickly go into the page section and show you what you can do in there. As you're editing pages or posts, you have these options here. Okay, template. You can choose what template you want that page to be. Right now the sample page is set up on a default template. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the showcase template and update that, and we'll see what that looks like once we go back and refresh. Okay, so it's a slightly different layout, and it adds your most recent posts, okay, to your home content, and it still has the video there and the content, text content, main content that was there. Alright, so just a couple of different ways. Remember, you can change your individual page or post template style by changing this drop down menu selection right here and modifying your page or your content accordingly. Now, before we end this part 2, I want to quickly show you under appearance and theme options. Actually, I'm sorry, header. Remember I told you this setting here for random will show a different image for every page a person goes to, or every time you refresh the page. You can just select, I'm going to just select this image over here, right here, and which takes it off of random. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now notice it shows you what your current preview header image is. Okay, we'll go back to the site. As you can see, we changed the size, height, but I'm going to go ahead and refresh, and now it shows that image as my static header image. Okay, so every page has the same header image in case you don't want it to change. And you, once again, you can create your own custom header. It helps if you know the dimensions. They want you to make it 1000 pixels wide, and let's see, the suggested height is 150. Okay, so if you do that, it'll make it easier for WordPress to display the image. Alright, so it's not absolutely mandatory, but it always helps with images if you know the size that you're going to have on your website. Alright, so I hope this was just a quick introduction and tutorial on some stuff that you can do with the 2011 responsive theme, free theme from WordPress. If you have any questions, contact me at myvisionmedia.net. And my name is Allan, and once again, this is a simple theme, but can be modified and made to look pretty nice. However, you will have to get deep into PHP and some code modifications if you really want to do a lot with this particular theme. It is pretty basic for the most part. Alright, so if you have any questions, once again, just give me a holler. Alright, talk to you later.